Hello, Internet. My name is Mr. Lupino. I am here to share my college story with everybody. The whole idea of this PowerPoint is to share how I went from high school student to high school teacher and adjunct professor and etc. And from this PowerPoint, I wish to give you some life advice that I wish that I had, and I hope that this is becoming helpful for someone. So, let's begin. My first original adventure started at the College of Staten Island High School for International Studies. This is a school in Staten Island. My high school grades were pretty average. They were between the 80 and 85. I simply got by not studying, but I just paid attention, so school wasn't really that hard for me, but at the same time, I wasn't really that motivated to do very well. I was not in any clubs and was meh about having a future. All I cared about was video games. So really, at this point, I really just didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So, as a junior, I was recommended to take AP Biology for my senior year, and it was the best decision ever made to take that class. So the class actually made me like biology so much that I decided to go to college to major in biology. Here I had a reason to study something. I really enjoyed taking biology, so I decided to go to college for biology. So, this is a map of Staten Island, and so where does a completely average person attend college in the most boring borough in New York City? So in Staten Island, there's three schools. Well, technically there's four schools, but I think by the time I applied, there's only three schools. You have the College of Staten Island, Wagner College, and St. John's University. So my options were very limited because I was lazy. I didn't feel like commuting to Manhattan from Staten Island every day. Additionally, I didn't know that dorming existed. I didn't know that I could actually live at a school. So either I paid $5,000 a year to go to the public college, College Staten Island, or pay $20,000 a year to go to Wagner College or St. John's University. So what did I do? I decided to attend the College Staten Island. So it was the largest CUNY campus in New York City, and was $5,000 a year. I think as of right now it's 7,000 or 8,000 a year, but it is still the cheapest option. I didn't want to take loans out for 20,000 a year. The quality of education would have been exactly the same. The thing about the CUNY school was that there was a bad stigma attached to it, but I made the most out of my experience, and I'll share what I've done while I was there. So, my highlights. I was in the Verrazano Honors Program. This was a selective program where you register for classes earlier than other people. I made a lot of friends, and I had a very great network of people. I had access to a lot of resources a lot of other students didn't. So this program made my experience incredible. Like, they really made me successful. I was also a student scientist. So as a science major at the College of Staten Island, I had a great amount of opportunities to work in labs. And I worked in some really cool labs. I worked in three labs actually. The first one was a cancer research lab with organic chemistry professor. The second one was a chemistry professor on nanoparticles, and the third one was on neuroscience. And they were all really cool. The third one was so cool that I actually used what's called a confocal microscope. It's like a 3D microscope, and it's a really expensive microscope. It costs like $500,000. Usually only PhD students use it, but I was only a bachelor student, and I was able to use it. It was incredible. And I also started the school science magazine because I had really cool friends and they helped me start it. That was great. But I needed money to attend college. So this is the difference between high school and college. So in high school, the majority of students take a Metro card that's free as a student. As soon as you graduate, as soon as I graduated, I had to pay each ride individually. So this costed $130 a month, and it really adds up very quickly, especially if you don't work. So I had to work really quickly. So in the summer of 2013, I worked at a grocery store. Now, keep in mind, before 2013, I tried applying for jobs absolutely everywhere, and just no luck. It was very difficult to find a part-time job in the year 2012. So, just letting you know, the reason why I got this job was because Workforce One is a job agency. I'll say it again, Workforce One. It's basically an agency, it's a city agency. Every borough has one where you can basically, they help you find a part time job. All you need is a resume and an ID, and they'll help you. So, definitely recommend that if you're looking for a job. So I really hated the job. I'll tell you why. I hated the job because the people were just not great. I took my job seriously. No one else took their job seriously. Everyone thought it was a joke. I didn't fit in at all. I was actually made fun of for actually caring about school, ironically, and I hated it. So I quit the job and I interned at a hospital. I got a really cool internship called CUNY Service Corps. It's not really offered anymore, unfortunately, but it was the best program that CUNY ever had. And I had a real internship experience. I was paid pretty well for it, and it motivated me to succeed better and work harder. These are other pictures. That's really blurry. I don't know why these pictures are so blurry all of a sudden. Um, why is it like that? That's weird. Yep. So these are just pictures. I don't know why they're so blurry. These are a couple of my buddies. That's a picture of a research lab. It's a picture of me in front of the science magazine. This is a science magazine office. That's a picture of me in a lab. You should never drink in a lab. This is a mug from the American Chemical Society, an organization I was a part of. Times were tough. I almost failed a class called physiology. It was really hard. Out of 300 students, as a professor, he failed 200 every semester. So I had to study really hard to pass this class. Like, I had to study so hard that I had to actually, every student recorded his lectures and listened to his lectures and wrote down everything he said word by word and memorized it. That's how hard this class was. I had to, like, the book was useless. I was told, don't even buy the book. So I listened to his lectures every day before I slept. This was what ASMR was before it was popular. This class made me learn how to actually study and made all of the other classes really easy. I'm serious, because during this during this period, like, I got mostly A's and B's and like one or two C's occasionally. I really wasn't doing that great in college. I took this class as a sophomore. After this class, I got mostly A's in all of my classes from this point on, and it's only because of the fact that I was able to I actually know how to study now because of this. This class like made me get A's and A minuses all my classes. I don't know why his pictures are so blurry. I graduated with a 91 average. That's pictures of my peers. Existential limbo. So after I graduated, I really just had to think about myself. I didn't know. I really didn't know what to do. I originally wanted to be a neuroscientist because I was working in a lab for neuroscience, but I really wasn't enjoying it very much. See, it was a really cool job to have, but every day I was in this dark room by myself, always looking down. My posture was killing me. I just kept looking at the clock every day, and everything was just so slow. I really wasn't enjoying the job. You enjoy something if time flies by. So nothing was flying by for me. I knew that I couldn't be a researcher because I just didn't like it very much, and I would kill myself if I had to do it. So a colleague of mine recommended me a program called Teaching Fellows. I never heard of this before, um, but basically what it was it was a program where you get a free master's degree while working as a teacher full time. So basically, when you're someone making like $100 a week, when you hear someone saying a real job and a free degree, that's like a dream come true. So the starting salary was 50 grand a year, and you get a free master's, which is incredible because master degrees are very expensive. They're usually 10 to 15 grand a year. In CUNY, it's about 8 grand a year. So this was free, so that the master's degree was really a huge plus for it. There was a catch though. They had a very low acceptance rate, like really low. I was discouraged by many, many people to not even bother applying. Oh, don't apply to that. Barely anyone gets in. But you know what? I applied anyways. And I got in. Ha! So I got in, and I got a full scholarship to get a master's degree in science education from Pace University. This is a picture of Pace University while teaching in the Bronx. This was a school I used to work in.